This is the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and broadcasting live from the Omni Frisco at the Star. Brought to you by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. Tom Thumb Albertsons, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Bacardi, live passionately, drink responsibly. Bacardi. Now your hosts, Kevin Turner, Taylor Stern, and Brad Sham.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us on the Cowboys Hour, and thank you all for coming out here. We've got another big Victory Monday crowd here at the Omni Frisco. Go ahead. Let's hear it for Victory Monday. Come on. You never, ever want to get totally used to Victory Monday. You always want to cherish it like the little treasure that it is.
Said like someone who's in his 41st season.
There is nothing wrong with having 16 or 19 or 20 treasures. That's absolutely no problem. But we really appreciate you being out here. It's a little toasty out here on the Ford Center Plaza, and so we thank those of you who have come out to be with us tonight. We thank those of you who are listening on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network and who are watching us streamed live or on digital tape on DallasCowboys.com. Kevin Turner is away this evening with family. He's on a family assignment. He's drinking beer in Wisconsin, I think, is his family assignment. He'll be back next week.
He does that well.
It's one of his strong points, actually. And we are delighted to have Cowboys linebacker and special teams ace Justin March sitting here right now. So happy to have you here.
Excited to be here.
In just a moment, making the expected theatrical entrance will be Cowboys captain
right here,
Jaylon Smith. And here he is.
Right
that was
on
like,
time.
Seriously, that was unbelievable. I wish I could say that we rehearsed that, because that would have been perfect. Those of you who are listening on the radio, just as I was saying, about to make the expected theatrical entrance, out through the door came the greatness that is Jaylon Smith. So thank you very much for, Justin, help him with that. Make sure that switch is flipped into speaking position on his box. Thank you. Thank you,
we
Captain.
can hear you.
Check.
Yeah,
Jaylon
you're good.
is here.
You are good. Now let me have a big round of applause for Justin March and Jaylon Smith, please. Thank you both for being here. We appreciate your being part of the eve of your day off. It's kind of officially the beginning of your day off when it's the evening before, right? And congratulations on another Victory Monday.
Thank you.
Proud of y'all. What do you guys do on your day off now? What are some day off activities?
We do a lot.
Jaylon's a walking conglomerate now.
Yeah,
Jaylon has no days off.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely... Why I'm a little late, I was getting a massage. I'm sorry. So.
Expected.
Already more information than I wanted, to be perfectly honest with you. This is interesting, though, because the last 3 years, I think, Jaylon's been on the program, and his brother Rod has been here with him. And so we'll all just drink a little iced tea to Rod.
Pour one out.
Hope
Pour
he's
one out
doing
for
okay.
our guy Rod. I know.
But delighted to have Justin March with us here. So let us begin with a look back at the first couple of weeks. Jaylon, if I suggested that you've obviously impressed a lot of people as a team with the way you have started, would it be accurate to say that you have not surprised yourselves? Would that be accurate?
Yeah. It's just the beginning. You know, we haven't hit our peak yet. But we know what we're working towards, so it's an everyday grind.
Yeah, you said you weren't thrilled with yesterday's performance, and you talked a lot about opportunities. How can you guys capitalize on some of those opportunities?
The biggest thing is attention to detail. Whenever, whenever the offense makes a play, it isn't anything they're doing spectacular. It's us not executing our job. So understanding that we have a high standard and we hold each other accountable. That's why we're looking forward to getting back to it this week.
Well, by the way, what beverage would you like while you're sitting in the toasty sun to wet your whistle? Would you like a water and
I'll
iced
take
teas?
ice water,
Yeah,
please.
can we get some ice water for Jaylon? Yeah. Thank you very much.
Drink water. It's what Jaylon
So
drinks.
that's interesting to me because when the opposing offense does something well, it's not what they've done, it's what you haven't done to do your jobs. So why is that not the case when your offense does something well? Why is it not what the other defense hasn't done well?
When you're a dominant force, it's all about controlling what you can control. And if you do everything to the best of your abilities, we have a belief capacity to really understand that we can win. So that's really what it's about. It's about focusing on what you can control. And it's America's team. We like our odds.
Justin, of course. Thank you for the meatballs. Whoever just brought the meatballs, play the meatballs. Justin, of course, is a key participant in all of the Cowboys special teams, has been since he got here. But in case you don't know, he's also been a defensive starter in the league. And, in fact, it's interesting to me when guys have bases for comparisons. So you were a starter in Kansas City. You've been in Seattle, dipped a toe in Miami for a minute. What's different about here?
I'll probably say just being on America's team. I mean, it's something special to represent that star, each and every day on the field, off the field. And then obviously just having the men in the locker room like we have, it's definitely a special group to be a part of. Like you said, I play a lot on special teams, but I always joke around with Jaylon and Lite. I say I'm a starter. I touch the field before they touch the field, whether it's on kickoff or kickoff return. So
it's a mindset to have.
Yeah, so that's just my mindset. And just being around these guys each and every day is definitely a blessing.
This is a deep linebackers group, probably one of the best that you've been a part of, right, Jaylon? Like
Absolutely.
In your 4 years?
Yeah, absolutely.
What would you say about the depth of this linebacker group right now?
I say it in every interview when they ask about the linebacking core, and there's so much focus on myself and Leighton and our dominance, but our entire linebacking roster can be starters in this league and are starters in this league. So the fact that we know that and understand that, we're able to, again, it's about accountability and keeping that high standard. So definitely in the linebacker room, we're all about that.
So in OTAs in the spring, the things we're seeing from your offense right now, I thought I saw a different quarterback, a more confident quarterback, and I thought you began to see some of the things. Obviously, you didn't see all of the game planning and stuff.
The Kellen Moore.
Yeah, you couldn't really tell. Only a player or a coach could tell that in practice, in OTAs, or even in training camp. But I just thought Dak looked more accurate, and he looked more. His velocity he just looked more confident, looked better than he ever had, which you would hope would be the case. Now we got to Oxnard, and I thought that your side of the ball won as many, if not more, of the battles when you went into team. So, did you feel thoroughly prepared as a unit? I'm not talking about each of you individually. As a unit, coming out of, because you don't get to play in preseason anymore, hardly. Although Justin played his butt off in preseason. That's part of the deal, yeah. But as a unit, you really don't get to play very much in preseason anymore. As a defense, did you both feel that you were, as a group, prepared for the regular season? And does your offense surprise you at all, since you seem to win so many battles against them in Oxnard?
I'll say, for me, we're not really surprised, just because a lot of things that we go into situational type football, offense actually wins quite a bit of them, and we also get the upper hand as well. So just being able to have that battle back and forth is when you have a good team, and we see those guys every day. Dak and Zeke, and then you got all the receivers, you got the linemen.
Well, you didn't see Zeke in Oxnard, but that's
not
another.
Oxnard, but OTAs,
yeah,
OTAs for sure. And just being able to see their O-line and how Dak's been throwing the ball. He's been doing that for a while. You go all the way back to OTAs, and
right.
He was ripping the ball and still doing that.
And for you, Jaylon, is there anything surprising about what they're doing, and how ready did you think your unit was coming out of preseason?
The offense, the offense is stacked when you talk about talent, and the mission is to find a way to gel everyone together, and for it to be happening so fast, by the graces of Kellen and the crew. So it's a wonderful feeling. It's a wonderful thing to see. And it only helped us with our edge, because we knew the type of offense that we were going up in practice, but, against in practice. So it works.
Yeah, I liked what Brad was going with, and a lot of people are calling September the new August because of the fact that people are being so limited in preseason.
Wait, who says that?
It's people on the talking heads of the world out there on
September is
ESPN.
not the new August.
That's what
September
they've been
is
saying.
September is they're wrong. September is September. It's
They're
not the
wrong.
new
Listen
August.
here.
Not
But
the
they've
new
been
August.
talking about the fact that it seems like, especially when you watch that first Thursday night football game, the Bears and the Packers, they were saying that it felt like there were some defenses that it took some time to get caught up to the speed. Do you guys feel that when you face opposing offenses, or is what Brad's saying, you're seeing this offense already?
Yeah, I mean, offenses, they have similar concepts, so you can kind of understand. It's all about the families in which that you kind of grew up under. The Belichicks, you know what I mean, and the Eric Manginis, and just people of that field. The capacity in which what you learn, the Kyle Shanahan's, you kind of know what offenses that you're going up against. So, in knowing that, we're able to prepare for it.
That sounds like a true Rod Marinelli guy.
Yeah.
He'd be so proud of your answer right now because he loves the history of football and saying families. That would make defensive coordinator Rod very happy.
So, having established what you said before, I trust that you will not be insulted by my suggesting, to piggyback on what you said, Jaylon, that your best days as a group are ahead of you. And then the question would be, when will you know? You'll know before you get out onto a game field that you're there. You have been using the word elite about your defense as a goal since you got back on the field. And I think a lot of people admire that about you because it clearly defines, your purpose. When do you think you'll know that when you walk off a practice field and say, okay, now we're ready?
I don't know when we'll know, but we'll know when we'll know.
Thank you.
I mean, what'll happen in practice that'll make you say that?
It's kind of into it, you can feel it in here.
It's when you play the Dolphins this week and you've seen 2 weeks of them, and then
Oh, we're going to hold on to that because we were up against a break, but we're going to get into that coming up in just a minute.
Yeah.
But Justin, when will you know? You're a veteran. You've been around. What will happen in practice that'll make you say, okay, now we got it?
I really don't think you'll know, honestly, like Jaylon said, until you feel it, and you never know when that'll come. And obviously, with us having the standards that we have, it's always something that you can reach. So we're trying to reach that eliteness every single day, every single practice. And, you're always going to go back to the film room and say, hey, we could have did this better. Or you go back to, a game and say, hey, we could have did this better. So it's always something that you can improve on. And just having that standard of being elite, that's something we'll always be chasing.
It's coming, though, friends.
Yeah,
Don't
it's
worry
coming.
about that. It's
Definitely
coming. We are delighted to have Jaylon Smith and Justin March as our guests this evening on the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and brought to you in part by Omni. Next time you travel for an away game, here's how to make the most of it. Stay with Omni Hotels and Resorts. They have 60 premier locations coast to coast with things like world-class spas, championship golf, and great dining. Visit OmniHotels.com to learn more. Omni Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel of the Dallas Cowboys. And by Lucchese. Lucchese Bootmaker is now open at the Star in Frisco. Shop from a variety of world-class handmade cowboy boots, as well as all new signature apparel and accessories. Visit their brand new store today, right across the street, right over there at the Star in Frisco, and experience the tradition that is
Lucchese Bootmaker.
We'll be right back on the Cowboys Hour.
Back. To the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and broadcasting live from the Omni Frisco at the Star.
Winston in the gun, back to throw. Late pressure, running right hand, sack fumble. Jaylon Smith recovers at the 30, runs left to the 40, midfield, and he's running. Smith down the sideline. Jaylon Smith down the sideline to become the first Cowboy to return the ball for a touchdown this year. Last year, but there's more of that to come, and then came the swipe after that. Where'd the swipe move come from?
Man, I created the swipe my sophomore year of high school.
In high school?
High school.
He was into branding back then.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, I'm a visionary.
Yeah, clearly.
But it happened on the second down after a sack. We were down like 8-0, and after I got my sack, I did the swipe. I went to the sideline, and everybody was like, "Dang, Smooth, that was dope." So my nickname Smooth, and they like, "Dang, Smooth, that was dope." But then the next play, punt return for touchdown. We got an interception, scored. So it was kind of like a momentum switcher.
Like it lit a fire.
Yeah, exactly. Just getting the energy back up. So
was it a spontaneous thing, or was it premeditated?
No, it was spontaneous. It just happened.
That's amazing.
It literally just happened.
And then when everybody built off it in that game, did you say, "Okay, that's mine now"?
Trademarked.
Boom. Been doing it ever since.
We're on this show here called Cover 4, and Barry Church, who was your former teammate, is on it. And we do bold predictions. And last week, my bold prediction was that in this game yesterday, you were going to have your first career pick. And when I said that, Barry was very surprised that you hadn't had your first career pick. And that does make sense because you are around the ball so frequently. You feel it coming soon? I mean, you're talking about these opportunities.
Yeah, I feel it coming. I really do. I'm excited for whenever that does happen. I wonder how it's going to feel. I ask Layton all the time, how does it feel? Because he got a couple last year. But,
what do you say?
Oh, man, he really just rubbed it in my face. We're competitive.
Are you competitive with Justin, too? I mean, what are some of the inner dynamics of this linebackers room?
Man, so me and Justin, we're from the Midwest, so we're like natural-born hoopers. So we always talk about how we can get after each other.
Have you played basketball against each other?
Not yet.
You're ready, Justin?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
how do you think you'd fare?
I feel like I'll do well. Definitely, I can shoot, dribble, can dunk. So.
Okay.
Do a little bit of everything. But
and Jaylon's just smiling and saying, okay.
Yeah.
You guys were in school, in college, at overlapping times. Did Akron play Notre Dame at all during that time?
We did not.
Nah, that wouldn't have been a good.
Yeah, it would have been a good story.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Akron's been known to play some of those.
We probably would have wore our gold helmets too.
Ooh.
Notre Dame played New Mexico this past weekend. It was not good. It was not a solid outing.
Jaylon didn't have any problems with it, did you?
I'm super happy.
We should have made a bet. I mean, now that you have this contract money.
No. It's not in my budget.
Yeah.
Betty.
Thank you.
It is.
All right, but since Taylor went there, not about the money, but about the contract, there is, to the extent that there is any security in what you guys do for a living, because we're all day to day, one way or another. But to the extent there's any security, you and your family, Jaylon, now have a little bit. You know where you're going to be for a while, God willing. They want you. They know you want them. And the you touched on the opportunities the day of your press conference when you signed that deal. What potential changes have you seen in your life just since the day you signed that deal?
For me, it's still sinking in, but it's a moment that I prepare for my entire life. And for me, I just wanted to educate myself as much as possible, for when the opportunity comes. But being a Cowboy for life is something I've always wanted, and now that that's a reality, I'm blessed to be here. Definitely doing a lot of works with the Cowboys. I have my own eyewear line.
Yes, and it's funny you should mention.
Thank you, Dylan.
Right across the street at Fans United.
So we are, for those of you listening on the radio,
Yes,
we are sitting on the patio of the Omni Frisco, and we happen to be at this time of the day. We're looking right into the sun. Now, Justin, being a smart, well-traveled veteran, took the seat in the shade at the beginning before Jaylon got here.
And my picture.
And he's disrespecting me because he doesn't have on CVs right now.
Yeah,
and so
I got about 4 or 5
what
pairs.
Jaylon was
to be in my
sitting
car.
here. Jaylon was sitting here looking right into the sun. So Dylan from our staff, like a good soldier, said, "Let me go right over there to Fans United, right on the other side of the field, and let me pick up for Jaylon some clear-eyed view sunglasses."
I've been in Jalen's ear about some other ideas.
Yeah. We gotta make something happen.
I got some ideas for him.
The clear eye view is something that you've obviously. That was in college, though, right? That wasn't just when you got here. When did that start?
Sophomore year in college. Yep. I was just thinking about the platform that I'm on. How can I get people to understand? What am I about? So I came up with a clear eye view and what it means: a focused vision, determined belief, and earned dreams. And I think everyone should have a clear eye view, no matter sport, profession, whatever. And in doing that, I think I look damn good in sunglasses. And then clear eye view, the first portion of that is focused vision. So when you got on your CVs, you got a focused vision.
And this guy, man, if you talk about focused vision, Brad, because you were there at Valley Ranch when he was drafted. There were a lot of doubters. They were present when you were drafted in the second round. And that focused vision, we have the opportunity, we're blessed to see the practice field, and no one was on that practice field the first year that you were here more than you. There's no doubt. Your focused vision, you gave a lot of credit to Britt Brown, the trainers, but, even your teammates, they had to rally around you. And Justin, I'm sure you remember in 2017, here he is coming back. What was that like to witness?
It was crazy, just following, Jaylon all the way through college and stuff like that. Obviously, growing up in the Midwest, everybody knows who Jaylon is. So just being able to follow that journey and then actually coming here and getting to meet him, it didn't surprise me one bit that he would be where he is today based on when I met him and just the like you said, focused vision he had when I met him, determination. And on top of all of that, just being a great teammate and a great person. You obviously can see, when you stack all those things together, there's nothing that really can stop you from, getting all the way back.
The positivity that Jaylon has, for me, from the day that I first met you, just radiates off you, because at that point, you were still coming back from the knee injury, and no human being knew for sure what the outcome of your rehab would be, but you were completely undaunted by all that. So, Justin, what I'd like to know is when you're around him every day, when you're working with him, now that he has come back to where he is, how does that influence other people?
It just keeps everybody working. Just seeing that, his journey, and obviously being where he is today, has been one of the top linebackers in the NFL. And then he still works out and he still practices and still plays like he's that underdog, still trying to come back. So just being able to see that and just knowing that no matter what you achieve, there's always a higher goal that you want to achieve. So that inspires everybody. Me on special teams, being where I was last year compared to where I want to go this year, it inspires me to say, hey, if something didn't work out then, I can still work my way and put in the work, and that's day in and day out.
But Jaylon, as you got back to being Jaylon Smith, the one that you always knew and the people in Dallas hadn't had an opportunity to see when you first got here, it strikes me that you also feel a sense of responsibility that goes with that, to do certain things in the community, to be a certain way with your teammates, to be the leader that I know you believe yourself to be. Am I right about that? Do you feel that sense of responsibility?
Yeah, leaders are held to such high standards, and for me, having my first year being a captain of America's team is definitely it's truly an honor. But what comes with it is a lot of expectation. So I've been a leader my entire life, and we're gonna keep it going.
By the way, I think it was who was it that was here a couple of weeks ago and a bird landed on the table? Taylor, was it Antoine? Oh, it was Malik. It was Malik Collins.
Malik had some questions for Justin.
Well,
we'll get in those.
Yeah, hold
I know
on,
we got a break.
Malik was sitting in the chair that Justin is sitting in, and and the wonderful staff at Neighborhood Services at the Omni Frisco here brought some appetizers for everybody, and this bird perched on the corner of the table, and it kind of freaked Malik out a little bit. which was interesting to see that as big, hulking, menacing-looking Malik Collins was completely thrown by this bird just appearing. And I believe it's the same bird who just sat down and was completely undaunted by the presence of Justin March.
Unfazed.
Did you? But you didn't seem freaked by the bird.
Not at all.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we've got some more questions about the Cowboys defense, about each of these two men, and a little bit later in the show, if those of you who are here with us at the Omni Frisco. By the way, this is the perfect time to be here because the sun has dipped down behind the office building now, and now Jaylon only needs the CV shades to look cool. He doesn't anymore need them to save his eyes. But we are delighted to have the sun dipping down behind the building. We're really happy for all of you to be here with us, and we look forward to more with Justin March and Jaylon Smith. And Steven's got the microphone. He'll be passing amongst you a little bit later in the show. So when he comes out there, if you've got a question for Jaylon or Justin, go ahead and hold your hand up.
Yes, and want to use what the pros use. Jack Black is the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys. Get your Jack Black starter 4 JB faves plus a full-size lip balm for just $10 with free shipping at getjackblack.com. Use code TEAMJB, and big thanks to Albertsons when it comes time to shop for tailgate favorites. Go to Albertsons and Tom Thumb. Get 10% off your groceries every Dallas Cowboys game day when you wear your Cowboys jersey. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys.
We'll be right back on the Cowboys Hour.
Back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and broadcasting live from the Omni Frisco at the Star.
Testaverde in the gun. Back to throw on third down. Heavy rush, and he is sacked. And it's Justin March.
That's a right.
Sacked by Justin March right there in final preseason game. Absolutely tongue dragging on the floor that night. But
Oh, yeah.
still that play was made. So we are delighted to have Jaylon Smith and Justin March here with us this evening on the Cowboys Hour. Please applaud them. Yes, please richly applaud them.
Victory Monday.
And I can, by the way, tell you, we don't always have it lined up in advance, but I can tell you that next Monday night, those two chairs will be occupied by Tyron Smith and Lyle Collins. So we'll need less security because they're their own security, whatever they do. Jaylon, you mentioned when we were talking about the responsibility that you have, the responsibility of being a captain. At your contract signing press conference, you said something that really struck me. You said that you would be a captain. This was before the vote had taken place. You said you would be a captain of the Dallas Cowboys. And you didn't say it would be this year, but you also didn't say someday. You said, I will be a captain. You didn't say you hope to be a captain. You didn't say you said, I will be a captain. How'd you know that?
I haven't thought about that.
Clear-eyed.
But
I pay
honestly-
attention.
Someone yelled
I
clear
pay
eyed.
attention to what you say.
But honestly, yeah. I mean, it's just it's something I'm built for. When you talk about bringing a group of guys together to be able to accomplish one goal, you need leaders, and for me, I've always viewed myself as one of those. And the captain thing, it's all about timing and trust. And if you can get your teammates' trust, then you should be up and running for being a captain. So it's an honor.
And I'd like to just spend a second on that because Justin was a team captain in college, right?
Yep.
That obviously means, so that title, that means something to you guys at the highest levels, college and professional of this sport. Justin, what did that mean to you when you were a captain at Akron? What does being a captain mean in the pros?
Yeah, for me, it just kind of meant that you had the support of your teammates. You knew that they would follow you, and obviously, just I think any great player, any great leader, I mean, you feel it. You feel like when you're a natural born leader, and then there's no doubt in your mind that you would become that one day. That you would, like Jaylon said, like he just knew, like you just have a feeling that you can get people to follow you, and you have a good feeling of where you're going. So I guess if you have a vision and you know exactly where you want to go, other guys can sense that.
Kind of like a clear-eye view.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Yeah.
I got the shades on now.
man.
I switched my
So
shades.
familiar. Oh man, look at
Yeah,
her,
they
looking
come
fly.
in women's styles as well for everyone out there, right?
Right behind you at Fans
Women,
United.
men,
Check it out. Check it out.
everybody. But, Justin's talking about, yes, having that vision. And, Justin, we weren't fortunate enough to have you on the show last year, but when we did have Jaylon, he talked about the Purge Squad. And what I figured out this past week in the locker room was that you were the creating
Founder and CEO.
Founder and CEO, like a true businessman here, of the Purge Squad. You have some shirts out here. And Jaylon was preaching about the Purge Squad because Brad doesn't love the name. I get it. The movie's scary. But you got people to follow along with this. And where did the Purge Squad come from?
Yeah, so obviously it's not geared towards the actual movie, and
Yeah, that's
kind of
Good.
so we're not.
Good.
Yeah, so we're not. Yeah, we're not condoning any type of senseless violence or anything like that. But it's more about what I'm saying, when you're on a field with your brothers and you know what I'm saying, you run around and you're hitting. You know what I'm saying, it's just you're able to, when we get to season time, you're finally able to like purge, unleash everything that you've been practicing day in and day out. Obviously, we can't tackle our own offense, but it's all fair game when you go up against the opponent. So it's just something that that's kind of like our rock, man. Just what I'm saying, when anytime you touch the field, it's about purging, man. It's about unleashing everything that you've done in the offseason, everything that all the hard workouts that we've done together. And it's just a brotherhood of men that we want to go out there, we want to run and hit, and it's just embracing it, especially with how the NFL kind of is today. Trying to take that away, but these guys won't let it happen.
Do you want to hold the shirt up for the people watching on the
Yeah.
website?
Let's
Let us-
go with which one? Go.
The Cowboys.
Yeah.
The fashion
we'll go with
beast.
Cowboys.
Okay. Now, are these going to be available to the public, or does this?
We're kind of testing some stuff out right now.
Okay.
First time actually presenting it, and it says "United We Purge."
Yeah.
And on the back it says "A Defense Reborn."
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So the whole United We Purge deal is, we can't do it unless we do it together. As an entire defense. Special teams unit, offense. I mean, you got to be united in order to do that.
Now, here's the interesting thing. There are so many interesting things to me about this, but before we went on the air, Justin was explaining to Taylor and me that if you are on the defense, you are in the Purge Squad.
Yeah,
Right.
we yep.
Which I
that's
like.
it.
Okay.
That's it.
Jaylon made very clear last year, I believe, that the Hot Boys is like by invitation only.
It's
That's
like
a defensive
13
It's
line.
more
members?
it's more sacred.
Right.
Is
So
it-
it started as like a defensive line thing, but not quite, because you were you were right away. You were
Yeah.
in the Hot Boys, right?
Yeah.
Are you in the
Instant-
Hot Boys?
I'm not.
Okay.
Not.
So there's a lot of guys.
We have guys up for discussion. We
Ooh,
have guys up for
I'm sure
discussion.
Justin's
and Justin's he's one of those.
That's-
He's hot boy worthy.
That is kind of
But-
it's kind of like what Malik and Antoine were telling us.
But Purge Squad it's a mentality that the entire unit possesses, and in order for us to be able to purge together, we have to be together and united as one. The star of the defense is the defense. So that's really just what we're trying to edge on for sure. So.
Yeah, and I know, they say only 7% of Cowboys fans will ever come see a game at AT&T Stadium. So for the 93% of those, they do play the Purge sirens now. That's a new thing. Shout out Corey Miller, who does our in-game production. They started that. Do you guys hear that sirens? Because I see you guys looking up at the big giant board
You
at
gotta
AT&T
talk about it, bro.
Stadium.
You gotta talk
Okay,
about
tell
it
us
about
the
every
story.
meeting.
Yeah. So
And what we need from the fans too.
Oh, good.
Everything.
Yes.
You hear
Fans-
that.
Especially when you're coming up on a noon game,
Oh,
because
yeah.
half these people are still asleep by the time kickoff.
yeah. So we actually hear it not only on game day, we hear it every single day before
Oh.
a defensive meeting. And after we get out of a team meeting, you can hear the horn. I mean, sometimes I think I hear it when it's not even playing.
Is that what that horn is in the building? I have sat in the other wing, and I have heard that horn, and it sounds a little bit like the horn that starts a practice period, but then I thought they're not practicing now. What the hell is that horn?
So scary.
Now I
It's the
know.
siren. It's a
Okay.
siren. So what it does is it helps us kind of lock in. So once it's crazy because as soon as we get out of a team meeting, you'll hear the siren. And you'll see none of the defensive guys turning around, talking to anybody behind them. Everybody's walking straight forward to get to the defensive meeting room. And it's just kind of like a trigger, man. Once we hear that, we know it's time to lock in, and we know it's time to prepare and just learn while we can in that meeting and get ready for our opponent.
What was the shout out to fans?
Oh yeah. So when you hear the siren, man, you got to get up. We need some. We need a lot of people just being out there and going crazy because it is a trigger for us. And I mean, we go as far as our fans go. And that siren, now that you guys know what it means to us, we want it to mean that much to you guys, knowing that when you hear that siren, you know the defense is going to bring it. We're going to be locked in, and we just want you guys to do that as well.
Information is power. That's the way I look
It
at
is.
it. All right,
Exactly.
before we take our next break, I'd like to have both of you address this. I mean, it's pretty obvious you got a good football team. How good you'll be, that's why you're going to play the season to find
TBD.
out. And you are coming off 2 good games, and you are preparing to play a team that is not coming off 2 good games. Now, the NFL will find ways to humble you if you don't take everybody seriously, but there are a lot of people who will be watching and listening to the game who don't believe that. And they will think that all you have to do is roll your helmets out there this week, and that's good for 10 points right there. So, Justin, you first, and then Jaylon, please. Why and how do you take as seriously as anyone else a team that is having the issues that the Miami Dolphins are currently having?
Yeah, because everybody's in the NFL, everybody's good, and you just can't go out there and say, hey, we got this in the bag, and not put in the work, not put in the preparation, and then go out there and play. And we like to say, man, it's really about us. So we know if we come in every single day, we work on the stuff that we need to work on. We're not really looking at who exactly who we're playing. We're trying to perfect our craft, perfect our defense, our offense, special teams unit to give us the best shot at winning and achieving that goal.
Man, I mean, he hit it head on. It's all about preparing. You don't ever want to get caught in a situation to, where you're not preparing the right way, and you can get your butts handed to you. It's the National Football League. Everyone's getting compensated to play at a high level. So, for us, we're going to focus on us and what we can control, and as long as we execute, we all like our chances.
Justin March and Jaylon Smith, our guests on the Albertsons Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons. We'll be right back with your questions for Justin and Jaylon. The Cowboys Hour is brought to you in part by Omni. Next time you travel for an away game, here's how to make the most of it. Stay with Omni Hotels and Resorts. They have 60 premier locations coast to coast with things like world-class spas, championship golf, and great dining. Visit OmniHotels.com to learn more. Omni Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel of the Dallas Cowboys. And by Lucchese Bootmaker, now open at the Star in Frisco. Shop from a variety of world-class handmade cowboy boots as well as all new signature apparel and accessories. Visit their brand new store today and experience the tradition that is
Lucchese Bootmaker.
We're back with your questions for Justin and Jaylon right after this.
To the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and broadcasting live from the Omni Frisco at the Star.
Welcome back, Brad Sham and Taylor Stern. Kevin Turner rejoins us next week. Delighted to have Jaylon Smith and Justin March, Cowboys linebackers, with us as our special guests this evening, and so happy to have all of you who are with us wherever you are. And for those of you here at the Omni Frisco, this will be your chance in just a moment in just a moment to ask your questions to Jaylon and Justin.
Yes, and big shout out to Papa John's. When the Cowboys win, which they did, you get 50% off regular menu price pizzas the next day at papajohns.com with promo code Cowboys Win. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Not valid with any other discounts. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary. That's always a tongue twister. And thank you, Albertsons. When it comes time to shop for tailgate favorites, go to Albertsons and Tom Thumb. Get 10% off your groceries every Dallas Cowboys game day when you wear your Cowboys jerseys. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. I see some Jaylon Smith jerseys out there.
Man, big shout out. Big shout out to the Jaylon Smith fan.
Now, you guys might have seen that D-Law got some slack last week about the jersey that he didn't sign. But I feel like that's understandable here. And I love that yesterday there was a video that somebody said, I've got the right jersey on. And he went and signed it, so it's pretty good. But we got some good, we're going to get some good fan questions, but we do have some great social questions. And I loved this one because it was asking about, in any era, who is the one running back that you guys would not want to have to face?
Oh, wait. Face or tackle?
Tackle.
That's a different question.
Let's say
Barry
tackle.
Sanders. Barry Sanders make you look like a fool.
Ooh.
See, that's why it's a different question, because when you asked me during the break.
Yes, not want to tackle.
Not want to tackle. Okay. So you say Barry Sanders.
It's a lot of great running backs.
I mean, gotta say probably Walter Payton. I mean,
Move over sweetness.
yeah.
Move over sweetness.
Yeah.
See, I think that it would be really frustrating to try to tackle a guy like Barry Sanders, Tony Dorsett, Gale Sayers.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Emmett?
That was my guy when I was.
Cutback.
But when you talk about not want to tackle,
Jerome Bettis.
that now see that.
Bus.
I was thinking
Notre
and I think
Dame.
that's right. But I was
Notre
thinking
Dame.
along the lines of
Mike
Earl
Allstott.
Campbell or Jim Brown, but Bettis would absolutely fit into that. I mean, you just
Mike Allstott.
a big man,
Thumper.
a big man. Okay, that's a good one. What else you got?
Who are some of the running backs that Rod Marinelli talks to you guys about, like back in the day that he'd seen his defenses were preparing for? Does he talk to you about that at all?
Definitely Barry. He always shows a clip.
Or what's the clip?
Basically, he ran for like a 67-yard touchdown or something like that. But there was like one of his defensive linemen that was like sprinting to the ball, even though he wasn't going to catch him. Basically trying to emphasize how we need to run to the ball.
Marinelli madness at its finest. I'd like this question because this is a true football question. What's your favorite defense to play when it comes to zone? Cover 2 or etc.? They gave the ETC right there.
What's yours?
3.
Cover 3.
Yeah.
Because
you get the ooh. Honestly, you get the purge.
The purge. That's it.
It's purge
You get to
time.
make the-
They play the sirens.
You get to tackle the check down. You know what the check down is, right, Brad?
yes, Jaylon, I know what the check down is. Thank you very much. No,
Come on,
I
Brad.
mean, I'll tell you what, you and Leighton and Sean particularly seem to really. You can just kind of see you guys loading up when it comes time to tackle the check down guy. Yeah, there's no question. All right, Stephen, what do we have?
Barbara here kicking off our questions for tonight.
Okay. Hi, guys. This is for both of you. I teach high school, so tomorrow when I go and start my class off, you give them advice to pursue football or not pursue football.
Love that question.
You going first?
Yeah, to pursue football, but not only that, but I guess a great education, pursue excellence in everything that they do. So,
Yeah, ditto. But education is important,
very.
which is why I went back and graduated.
Yep, there
That's
we go.
true.
Give it up.
Big shout out to Jaylon. Jaylon and Justin, you guys can answer this. What has football taught you, though?
Football has taught me, you can't even put it into words, about accountability, about responsibility, being a man of your word, doing your job, Taught me about love. I mean, everything.
And then most importantly, how to fight. You know, you get knocked down a lot. You know, whether that's injury related, whether that's, you know, just not having a good game. But I mean, it teaches you to get back up and keep fighting everything that you do.
Yeah, we got another question over here.
This question's directed for Jaylon. We know about your nicknames, such as Smooth, obviously, and the Predator. Now, throughout your football career, has there been any other nicknames that you went through?
Classified. I'm going to keep that classified.
Someone did ask about your nickname, Bubba, though. Where does Bubba come from, Justin?
Yeah, so I was actually the biggest kid, you know, in my neighborhood growing up, and I just stopped growing. So I was about this size when I was probably like 11 years old. When I was real young, I was about this size. So I really don't know where it came from. They always called me that.
Well, you were in Southern Illinois, is that right?
Yep.
Hey, how did you not wind up at the University of Illinois?
Oh man, that's a crazy subject. So my uncle was a 3-time captain there. I grew up about 20,
At Illinois?
At Illinois, I grew up about 20 minutes from there, and they said I was too small.
Stop.
Yeah, that was
Illini.
that's it. They said I was too small.
That's one of them ones right there. You know?
So that was about it. So
You just write them hate mail now? Like, you just send them, like, pictures of your jerseys?
man, yeah, I would, but
We call him Jigsaw.
yeah.
What is Jigsaw?
That's Jigsaw right there.
Jigsaw.
Because he's the
Oh,
master
you call
of
him
the...
Jigsaw?
No, his nickname is Jigsaw.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Where'd you come up with
He's
that?
a dominant force, man.
Oh,
I think
Jigsaw.
it's because off the field I'm probably like one of the nicest guys, and then on the field it's like a whole different switch. So it's just
It's a cultural reference. I get it.
yeah.
Got Raul here changing it up with a food question.
Hey guys, I see a lot of fans eating some wonderful food here, and I'm wondering from the Midwest, what's your favorite food?
Jaylon, remember what you
Man.
said last year? It's a nasty one.
No, and he's
What'd I
not
say,
very happy.
crawfish?
He's not
No.
very happy that you remember it either.
I mean,
right
I
now.
like tostadas. Man, I eat anything. No, I don't eat
Catfish?
pork. Catfish and spaghetti.
That was it.
That's my mom's favorite. That's my favorite meal by my mom.
Yeah, and I guess for me, I'm allergic to shellfish, so I really don't eat a lot of seafood. But my wife, she makes homemade beef stew, which is really, really good.
Shout out to her.
Shout out.
I'm gonna need a plate
Oh,
next
yeah,
time,
yeah.
bro.
He's about to be a dad to his second child, a daughter.
Yep.
A daughter, so.
Did you want to know the gender of your child?
Yeah, I did. I guess just with like football, I mean, you always got to be prepared. So, yeah. So just I was just like, yeah, just let me know what it is. That way I can kind of get my mindset, mentality right, and still working on that.
All right.
Uncle Jaylon is the ultimate uncle over
yeah,
here.
absolutely.
To
Yes, sir.
Rod's,
I'm over here.
Rod's daughter. And
I'm here.
Yeah.
You spent some time with Justin's son.
Man, he's a workaholic. He had me running around.
I saw you put 4-sport athlete, your son.
Yeah. He gets that from his mom. I mean, I played
Justin
football,
knows.
but I mean, she played all sports growing up, and when she was 2 years old, she was just as active as he is. I mean, he can hit a baseball, throw a football, kick a soccer ball, and shoot a basketball. So
Okay, so we've got 1 minute left. The question is, if I weren't doing what I'm doing, I would like to be doing fill in the blank. Justin March.
mentorship, life counseling. That would be something I'm real passionate about, is helping others. So just mentoring people through life and, counseling people.
But, you're doing that, though.
Yeah.
You are
but
doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but playing football, outside of that, I can do more.
All right, Jaylon Smith.
I'm doing what I'm doing now, like off the field. I'm a business owner, investor, philanthropist, but I would be a professional bowler.
Stop. Really?
He's really good at it.
He's the one from Akron. Really?
Serious.
How long have you loved bowling?
My entire life. It gets cold in the Midwest, man.
What's
so
your high
we
game?
We can't do outdoor in the winter.
What's your high game?
287.
Not bad. What's
Team
your high
Whitten
game?
won.
Not much of a bowler.
Not much of a bowler. Now you know,
Team
just in
Witten
case
won
you
it,
didn't know.
drink, yep.
Now you know, ladies and gentlemen, Justin March, Jaylon Smith, thank them for being with us. Thanks to all of you for coming. And next week it'll be Tyron Smith and Lyle Collins with Taylor and me and Kevin Turner right here on the Cowboys Hour.